Just one verse today, guys. Just one verse in Exodus 7. And it's an interesting verse when you look at it. And he goes back to something we've talked about previously. It says, "But I will make Pharaoh's heart stubborn so I can multiply my miraculous signs and wonders in the lands of Egypt." So this hardening of Pharaoh's heart was mentioned in Exodus chapter 4. Down it's around verse 21 is where it was mentioned. And God here, I don't believe, is hardening Pharaoh's heart against his own desires. Pharaoh wants to be stubborn, so God is just going, "Well, go ahead, son, go ahead." It's almost a reinforcement of Pharaoh's own desires. You know, this is also brought out in Romans chapter 1, where it talks about the sin of mankind and how in mankind's continued rebellion, God turned them over to their desires. He turned them over to their sin. That's kind of what God's doing with Pharaoh here. This is what Pharaoh wants and what Pharaoh is going to get. God turns him over to it. And so this is done for, I think, two reasons. One, the miracles, which are going to speak to the heart of the Israelites, as well as reveal God to the people, not just in Egypt, but in the entire region. And this will be something that will be talked about. This is talked about later in the Bible, that people in other places knew what had happened in Egypt, and they feared the Israelites, right? They were scared of them because of what God had done. So I think there's that side. And then there's also the punishment of Egypt. The plagues are not just to get God to let the people go. The plagues are also a punishment for what had been done to the Israelites under the absolute 100% free will of Pharaoh and the Egyptian people. The beatings, the oppressions, the deaths, the babies that were killed at the very start of the book of Exodus. You know, they were thrown in the Nile River. All of these things had to be paid for. There was judgment coming. The Bible says, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord," right? I love that good old King James translation right there. That's what he's saying, and that's what's happening here. So God turns Pharaoh over to what he wants. He hardens his heart, not against his free will, but just gives him over to the desires of his heart. And it will have those two effects. So it's a very interesting passage. And we as Christians should not allow ourselves to run rampant in sin, because sometimes God gives us over to what we desire, and that brings judgment upon us, and it damages our relationship with God. And for those in the world, when that happens, they are moving further and further from their Creator and from salvation. So we hope you have a great day.